So I ordered a $5 converter.
12-volt 300. Right there.
Yeah, but I it's a 2-pack. I don't want to. I don't want to risk it.
Up. Blow it up. Blow it up.
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I am Steve, and this is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding, fixing, breaking, reviewing, playing random internet joke podcast.
Our opening topic comes from Simon Jeffries off our Facebook group, and he asked, to capo or not to capo? And I want to,
whether it is noble to increase thine key by adding a piece of rubber on a spring to your guitar and thus moving yourself up the fretboard while playing the same chord shapes.
I want to spice up that question a little bit to make it more clickbaity for the purposes of getting more of you to watch. Are capos cheating, Steve?
No,
they're not. They're just a tool, and they allow you to do.
I took off your plastic coating.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even realize I had that on the controller. They're just a tool that allows you to, do what you want to do on a guitar. And there's people who use them in creative ways that allow them to do what other people can't do on guitar. So yeah,
and some people use them because they want to play in the key of B, but they want to use G shapes. And that's fine too. Just freaking be happy.
Just play music.
Be happy that people are making music that makes them happy.
You know what? You're playing in some band and you got a singer and the singer's like, you know what? I don't like this in C. Let's try it in C sharp. You don't know if you're going to stay on C sharp. It's fine to throw on the capo and be like, well, I'm just going to move everything up one fret and keep my same chord shapes because I have them memorized instead of trying to fudge through learning all the different chord shapes that I could be using here. Like, oh, what do I do with this diminished chord? I don't know.
What's a diminished chord?
They're a tool. Anyone who gets upset about capos or music stands on stage or blah, 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 blah sucks and needs to sit down and shut up because your opinion doesn't matter.
I think if you're in an originals band, you should learn all of your own songs.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that one out there.
If you're playing your own original music, you should know those songs.
Everything else, I don't really, whatever.
There's a guy I follow on TikTok, and he made the point the other day that for most of the people in a band, they're still in a cover band, even if it's an original band. And I've been thinking about that a lot, where it's like, yeah, you have like the one or two people in the band that wrote or co-wrote the song together, and maybe each musician came up with elements of their parts, but a lot of times there are members of the band, even if it's an original band, that are technically just covering
right
music that someone else wrote.
I've just always found that for whatever reason, when it comes to like whole song structures, I can remember them more easily when I had a hand in writing them. And the other thing that I found, you brought up the freaking music stand thing. You got me all fired up.
Oh man, here we go. Oh man, Steve's cracking his knuckles.
Really that fired up.
He's ready to go.
But
it's fist fighting time.
It's funny because a lot of the people, I have seen people say like, well, you see this argument a lot in church circles about music stands. And a lot of people say like, well, it's like this song is just like 4 chords or 6 chords or whatever. And that's fine. Whatever.
Right.
That's your argument. Like, oh, how hard is it to remember, 3 or 4 sections, 6 total chords. But then a lot of the people that I have seen, so that is one segment of the argument. And they're basically people who are saying like, oh, just memorize it. It's easy. And there's other people who also say like, oh yeah, I don't use a music stand, or I don't need a music stand. And the reason they don't need a music stand is because they don't actually play the freaking song.
Right.
They have a sheet that says name of the song and the key it's in, and they just play pentatonic shapes.
You know what? I feel attacked right now. How dare you?
Yeah, but you've already said like you don't really care about music stands one way or another.
I play the major scale at Steve.
Oh, sorry.
Play the major scale at church, not the pentatonic.
No pentatonic minors for you.
First position major scale for me all day. But like, listen, like there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place for that argument. There's the time and place where it's like, yeah, absolutely everyone should have sheet music. Like you're in an orchestra or something like that. Yeah, everyone's going to have sheet music. You're in an originals band touring. You shouldn't have sheet music. You're playing it.
That being said, this is a thing that has cropped up more and more. A lot of these bands that were like big in the in the 90s or whatever that are doing these revival tours, the lead singers are going out there with like, one of the things they have on stage is a freaking television,
a teleprompter for the lyrics,
because they've got 5 albums. And even though they're doing, a 2-hour set, they're doing 20, 25 songs. And they got a freaking teleprompter because Rob Thomas can't remember the damn words to Smooth.
You need a cheat sheet. It's fine. Whatever tool you need. That's really the theme of this, loose topic we're talking here. Whatever tool you need to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish is fine.
One time,
just do it.
One time I was at a Guns N' Roses show and I saw Slash using a capo and it just ruined it for me. Ruined the entire show.
Yeah.
Never look at Guns N' Roses. I've never been to a Guns N' Roses show. I don't know if he.
I don't think Slash would use a capo because he doesn't. Does Slash chord? He just kind of plays, arpeggios.
Yeah,
high up on the fretboard.
Slash doesn't need a music stand because his cheat sheet just says November Rain, key of A, and he's like, okay, cool, I got this. Pentatonic minor. Right. And people are like, yeah, I think that was the riff. Is that the riff? I think it was the riff.
He's got a piece of paper and just in big writing it says, "Don't forget to do a bend." Oh man.
Kirk Hammett's got a cheat sheet. It's just each one. It says like track 1, or like song 1, 2, 3, but it's just yes or no. And the question for each of the songs is there a wah solo? That was a Kirk Hammett joke, everybody.
Kirk Hammett probably has appealed to the Classical Musicians Guild to try to get notation invented for wah pedals.
Anyway, yeah, capos. It just doesn't matter.
Music stands, auto tune. All these are all controversial tools that people get on the internet and think that they have a valid reason to say that other people shouldn't use them. There's no tool that is off limits, in my opinion. Who cares? What if we had these arguments about tuners? And I'm sure there are people who do have that argument.
I've literally seen people who are like, you have a headstock tuner, you should just be able to tune by ear.
Oh, you use a tuner pedal? Oh, you can't tune by ear? Don't even... Why even bother being a musician if you don't have perfect pitch? I mean, if you're not born with it, what are you even doing?
You don't even need perfect pitch. You just have to memorize the E.
Right.
E. Is that an E? I don't know.
Remember the old days? I used to tune by ear to whoever I was playing with. It took forever and it sucked. And then you'd go out of tune. You're like, everyone stop. Hey, everyone stop. Pedals are amazing.
Yeah.
All this technology is amazing. Capos are amazing. I don't use them because I don't play chords a lot. And if I need to, play a chord, I can fudge it with a power chord if I really can't do the fingering for it or whatever. But some rhythm guitarist that's, half leading a band and there's a singer or whatever, and they want to change the chord voicing really quick, change the key really quick. It's a tool that works.
Yeah. One of these days I'm going to get busted because we're going to show up and they're going to change a song and they're only going to change it by if the person who's supposed to be leading the song is going to be I think I can sing this, but my throat's a little sore. So can we move this? Can we drop this a half step or whatever?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to need to play a song in B flat instead of B. And I'm just going to be
What screws me up is if some song gets changed from G major to F major. Mm-hmm. I've lost my first position major scale. I was going to play up here. Now I got to play all the way up here. Oh, great.
Ridiculous.
I'm half joking.
Terrible.
I'm half serious. How am I supposed to phone this one in? I have to think about where I'm putting my fingers.
You should always think about where you're putting your fingers.
Sometimes it's just fun to be in the moment, Steve.
That's fair. Fair.
Just let your fingers go where they want to go.
Whoa. Yikes. That's
With consent. Always with enthusiastic consent. Okay? Just to make that perfectly clear. What's new?
Man.
What's new? We don't need to do any more of this topic.
Are we going to do an ad? Or are you going to do what's new?
Let's do what's new.
Oh, man. We're going out of order again.
We got a long guitar back there.
You do got a long guitar back there.
Hanging behind me. You got that other long guitar 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you were like, hey, I'm going to bring back the Eastwood. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, that sounds great. I've been thinking about trying to jam with bass with the little Fender Micro Mustang headphone plug that I have.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about that a lot. It's a short scale bass. I don't know if anyone can see it. It's kind of behind my head there. So yeah, I think I'm going to spend some time playing bass. I haven't played bass in a long time. Play along to some
you haven't owned a bass in a while.
No,
right?
I haven't. So spend some time playing along to YouTube tracks and maybe working up, a repertoire of bass riffs.
Yeah.
That I could drop into videos. If I get used to playing bass enough, then I could end videos like, oh, here's baritone, and now here's bass, and just keep going lower and lower.
The only riffs you need are Peter Gunn.
I said to Steve earlier, I'm basically just gonna go watch Patrick Hunter videos and steal like 2 or 3 of his riffs and then call it a day and just be done.
For what it's worth, your first position major scale riffs are, that's ska, right? It's just a walking bass line.
Yeah. I would love to actually learn like enough of a jazz bass walk to fake a little bit of jazz bass. Like I would like to learn that. And then like maybe a little bit of funk. I'm never going to learn how to like slap at a bass, I'm never going to get Davey 504 over here.
It's not. I say it's not worth learning because I can't do it.
Well, I imagine it's a lot like pinch harmonics, where like once you learn how to do pinch harmonics on a guitar with high gain and like dive bomb squeals and stuff, that's all you want to do. Mm-hmm. And it's impressive to people that like that one sound, but everyone else is just like, can you just play? Can you just play bass? Yeah.
There's I watched a video the other day that someone was walking through it, and at its core, it's kind of just like it's like a slap and then the octave pluck. So it's like, burn, and I'm just like,
right.
It's one of those things where it's like, I see where the technique is and I'm like, oh, I could practice this. But then I'm like, where am I going to use this?
Right. I have a friend.
Does this apply to my daily life?
I have a friend who's a professional musician / a studio producer, tech sort of guy. And he is religiously against slap bass. He's like, it has no place in the music that I want to be associated with making. It's fine that it takes a certain amount of skill, but he is against that sound being featured in songs.
So earlier when we were talking about this, I showed you a Wolfpack's video. I showed you
those wolves.
I showed you Joe Dart.
Were ripped.
And I know a lot of people out there really love Wolfpack and Corey Wong and Joe Dart and all those guys are incredible musicians.
Sure.
Chris Thiele from Nickel Creek actually like moonlights with those guys sometimes playing like funk mandolin.
Nice.
I guess. I don't know. But
with like lots of compression and wah.
So
like an auto filter on a mandolin.
He like mandolin battled like their saxophone player or something.
That sounds serious.
In one of the videos I was watching. But the thing that I found with them is because it's like, okay, it's white guy funk, but it's like really good white guy funk. Like it's not bad white.
Let's be honest. White guy funk is better and different than white guy reggae.
Yeah.
I would much rather listen to white guy funk than white guy reggae.
I think for me, like white guy funk is really the issue with it is white guy funk is kind of like prog metal.
Yeah.
Where it sits in the space where it's like you are doing what you're doing at an extremely like impressively good level, to the extent where I'm not sure if you're making music anymore.
Yeah.
And that was how I felt about Wolfpack after about 15, 20 minutes. I was like, okay, the last like 3 songs you've played have just been like muted jazz chords, like where both the bass player and the guitar player are playing very rhythmically impressive.
Yeah.
But it kind of just sounded like drum, like, are you familiar with quad toms in a marching band?
Right.
Sounds like quad toms in a marching band.
Yeah. There's music that is for people.
We're going to get a bunch of hate comments. Here's the title of this episode. CAPOS? Steve hates Wolfpack.
There's music that is made for people who like songs. People that like music. Songs are music.
Yeah.
There's music that is made for people that like musicians.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to hear a musician doing the most musician-y thing that they can do. And oftentimes when you go into that side of the spectrum of music that's all about just what a musician can do, it stops being songs. It starts being an exhibition, you know?
Yeah.
It starts being an athletic event. And I think for your general audience that wants to hear a song, they want to hear a chorus, a couple verses, a bridge. They want a hook.
Yeah.
They want something they can dance to. You know, the 15-minute bass solo is not music to them. Which is fine. There's music for everyone. There really is. There's something for everyone out there, and it doesn't mean that one is superior or inferior to the other.
Right.
Unless we're talking about pop punk, which is all trash.
Dang.
It's important to have enemies and draw a line in the sand and be like, these are the group of people I'm against, so that everyone can rally behind you and be like, yeah, we're against them too. My line is pop punk. And it's probably more detrimental to this channel than beneficial.
I'm gonna go.
If one person hates pop punk, who does that hurt?
For the next 6 months, I'm just gonna work on all of the classic pop punk riffs. I'm gonna be like, Ryan, I'm ready to make a pedal demo. I'm just gonna come over here and play. It's just gonna be like some kind of dirt pedal, and all I'm gonna play are pop punk songs.
All the distortion pedals.
All right, you can ask me what's new.
I thought that was your what's new. We're still talking about the long guitar that I got.
Yeah, that's kind of your what's new.
Okay, what's your what's new?
I'm thinking about, and I don't know if I want to do it. It's kind of a...
Is it animal, vegetable, or mineral?
It is mineral. It is mineral.
Is it a duck? Ducks are minerals, right?
Ducks are animals.
Ah, damn it. I always get that wrong.
I'm trying to decide if I want to get a Les Trem for my Les Paul.
Ah.
And part of me is like...
Why not get a more trim for your Les Paul?
Part of me is like, I do want it because then I can be like, wah, wah, wah.
Mm-hmm.
Wah, and part of it, and then the
What about that?
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, so one of the things I was thinking about is I really like the way my Les Paul plays, but I still think the most fun guitar that I've owned, semi-owned, owned for a few weeks and then sent back to the manufacturer was that PRS that we had a few years ago, the PRS S2.
Dude, that was like 7 years ago now.
Was it 7 years
It
ago?
was so long ago.
And that had a Bigsby, and that was just a ton of fun to just do that little flutter.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need a chorus pedal when you can just go, you know, anyway. So I just was thinking about like, oh, I could get like, first I started thinking about getting the Bigsby, then you got to do the tailpiece thing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then to vibrate or not to vibrate, that's the question. And the thing with the Bigsby is even with, I think on a Les Paul, if you do the tailpiece Bigsby, you're still like, the Vibromate doesn't actually keep you from modifying your guitar because I'm pretty sure you still have to mount the Bigsby to where the strap button is.
The strap button part has like 3 screws.
Yeah.
So you're still putting holes in your guitar.
Yeah. But with the Les Trem, it just replaces your tailpiece.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking about going that way, but I just don't know enough about them. I don't know if it's a thing I want to do.
I think that if you're curious that direction, because you might put on a Trem and find out this guitar is not compatible with Trem without some other upgrades, like figuring out things with the nut, figuring out things with the bridge and whatnot. You might put on the Les Trem and be like, I'm just not using this.
Yeah.
And so it's better to start that way than commit holes to your guitar.
Oh, yeah,
But you might put it on there and be like, yeah, I'm actually using this quite a bit, but I do wish I was getting a more Bigsby vibe off of it, because the Les Trem doesn't feel quite like a Bigsby. It's wider. It's got a wider range to it, and it's more touch sensitive. Like a Bigsby, it's really forgiving. It's this really soft touch sort of thing, and really kind of subtle. So if you I know I love this, but I want a more Bigsby-ish experience, or you just want the Bigsby look, because the Bigsby look is way more classic looking than the Les Trem.
Yeah.
I think it's more attractive looking, but I think I prefer the functionality of the Les Trem. I think that's the right place to start. And it's find one used or buy one off the internet, and you will be able to sell it used. Heck, if you decide you don't want it anymore, I'll buy it off of you.
The real dumb thing, I think, is I also have this idea going around in my head. I was like, do I just need to buy another guitar?
Well, there is always that option.
Is this my father-in-law has one of the cheap Gretches. I think they're like $400 or $500.
Yeah, like an Electromatic or something.
Well, it's I think it's an Electromatic, but it's the Stream. Is it Streamliner?
Sure.
No, it's the Synchromatic, I think, and it's got some kind of Bigsby on it. In my head, it does anyway.
I always forget that your father-in-law is a guitarist.
Yeah. So that's a fun guitar. And so it's like, do I want one of those? I don't know. Everyone needs a Gretsch, right?
Yeah, everyone needs a Gretsch. If you don't have a Gretsch, then you're not everyone, right?
Anyway, that's a thought that I had. If you have less Trem experience, let me know.
Or if you have more Trem experience.
Okay.
More or less Trem experience. We want to hear from both of you. All right, first sponsor.
Yeah, this episode's first sponsor is Big Ear Pedals. They make pedals that are pretty simple, like 3 knobs.
You almost did the Chase Bliss thing.
Except the Albee has 2 knobs.
Yeah.
And one of them is actually a selector switch. But that actually makes the Albee extra simple, except it also has 2 modes depending on how you, anyway.
The Albee is the most simple multi-effect pedal that you will ever encounter in your entire life.
It's great.
It's got one rotary switch, it's got 1 knob, and it has a foot switch. It's got 3 controls, but it's a multi-effect.
Yeah.
It gives you 8 different selections of curated multi-effect sounds, modulations, reverbs, delays, and so on, all mixed together to just perfection. You don't have to tweak anything. It's already good. You just can adjust the mix against your dry signal, or you can hold down that foot button and get into super kneel mode, which gives you extended versions or maxed out versions of that setting that you're on.
Do you usually use it as non-latching?
I use it as I use it so that it stays on the normal mode, and then I hold down the foot switch to get momentary bursts.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Cool.
Remember when Josh Scott was on our Facebook group the other day, and he was like, "Can anyone recommend a nice reversed Firebird that isn't Gibson?" And then everyone recommended all these brands, and he's like, "I meant non-reverse. I'm so sorry." Did you see that?
No.
I was reminded of that moment.
What does that have to do with bigger pedals?
Our latching, unlatching sort of conversation. This is what it reminded me of.
Look, here's the thing. You want to know when Big Ear pedals are available? Go to bigearpedals.com. Get on the mailing list. Follow them on Instagram. Turn on those notifications. Smash that like button. All that stuff.
Yeah.
Here's what I do. I have maybe a handful of Instagram accounts that I always want to see what they post. I go through and I like every single thing to keep them in the top of top of my algorithm.
Here's what I do. I came up with an alternate Instagram account. You guys can all do this. It's easy. Come up with an alternate Instagram account, and I only follow Big Ear Pedals with it. I only see Big Ear Pedal posts with the alternate account. Like if you're truly devoted to a brand, you'll do that. I don't actually do that. That would be
I'm
wild.
gonna say, which counts as that. All right, you want to do this first ad?
I do.
This first ad was sent by Joey Looney.
It's a lightning bolt.
It has an Epiphone Les Paul pickup, a Music Man replacement neck, and some pretty decent tuners. Plays fine and sounds good. It's been set up, but was only roughly sanded before paint. Great for a beginner to have. Cool guitar. Hit me up. This was listed for $50 in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
You know what this would be perfect for?
Lighting on fire?
LARPing. Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Sleep! Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! Sleep! Lightning bolt!
Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt! That's how old I am. If you know that particular meme from the internet, that particular GIF, then you are the same age as I am.
I go a little older. I cast magic missile out the darkness.
He said something about mana, right? Like my mana's low or something like that.
Yeah. That's a pretty fun one. Anyway, this is a really weird lightning bolt. I think it's like, is this the would this be subject to the Supro cease and desist?
Oh, my Super amp is down there. I can't see it. No, because the Super one is like curved, but you know what? I'm going to tell you as an artist.
Was this the Harry Potter cease and desist?
As a graphic designer who has done many, many graphics over the years with lightning bolts in them, lightning bolts are hard. They're actually really tricky to get right. And I don't fault anyone for like kind of making them a little bit awkward. But this one is pretty awkward, and it looks like the tip is going to break off, and the tip constitutes a major amount of wood. This is a hack job. I mean, it's a full-blown hack job. It
looks like the pickup route was carved with a spoon.
It is not reading. It looks like the whole thing was carved with a spoon.
Yeah, in the description it says only a roughed sand job before paint. It's like, oh yeah, that's why your paint job was bad? No, your paint job was bad because you suck at painting.
This is a sad story. It reminds me of a time when I was a teenager and I would babysit local kids to make money. And there was this kid down the street that I would babysit that had a single mom sort of situation. And they were...
Where is this going?
They were doing a Pinewood Derby.
Okay.
I think through Scouts or something like that. And the mom had never done anything like that before. And she tried to whittle a Pinewood Derby car for her kid, and it kind of looked like this. Like it was like she might as well have been using a spoon. Like I think she was whittling it with a kitchen knife or something, and I felt really bad for her. And it was when you babysit as a teenager, you kind of encounter some sad moments.
Yeah. Anyway, this was listed for $50. It's sold. I would say $50 is an appropriate price. I'm not gonna,
for $50, sure.
I just realized the tuners aren't matched. So maybe it's not worth $50.
I don't think it matters. Like for $50, like you get this to smash it on stage. You know, you get this as a novelty for a one-time thing.
You can even get it on stage without it breaking.
That bridge looks like it. I don't know. It's kind of a compelling bridge design. It has those edge rails on it, but then the saddles themselves look really cheap. I doubt there's any part of this that is redeeming as far as component quality goes. I mean, you could salvage that humbucker and the knobs.
It only has 4 strings.
I have no idea.
This guitar would have been. I
think that's a Dean headstock. It's one of the cheaper Deans.
It might be like a Dean Playmate headstock, yeah.
Or something similar to that. I mean, it looks really rough. But for $50, the novelty is there. You get it and you have fun. And, no one's expecting this to be amazing. And so I'm not surprised at all that it's sold, especially in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Guys, you know the old stereotype there. They'll buy anything for $50. I'm just making stuff up. I have no idea what Tulsa's even like. Yeah. There you go. Lightning bolt guitar, guys. Next one.
Yeah, this is on Reverb. Oh, it's also listed. This actually on Facebook, but I found the exact same one on Reverb. This is a Fender Cowpoke P bass from 1995.
I've never seen one of these.
Great gigging bass, super light at under 8 pounds and low action. Neck is straight, almost no fretwear. Electronics are clean, wired passive with upgraded
I
Seymour
don't know
Duncans.
why they feel the need to tell us the sexual preferences of the neck.
2 dings pictured in the paint. Otherwise, everything as expected. Pickup in Lynn, Massachusetts. Yeah, this is the Fender Cowpoke. This I think they got their name because of the shape of that pick guard. It's like
the pick guard has a bit of like a Western theme kind of vibe to it. I was surprised to see this. I almost wondered like, oh, is this a different brand body with a Fender neck on it?
No, this is a Fender. Now, here's the thing. Here's one 4 years ago that sold on Reverb for $350. The prices on these are one of these ones that like you used to be able to find them like maybe like $250, $350, and the prices have just kind of run on them.
Yeah.
And it's a jazz, basically it's a jazz bass neck on a P bass like style thing going on, and they're kind of a weird thing.
Do you feel like the headstock is mismatched? Like I think
to the rest of it.
To the rest of it, like I feel like this deserves like a 70s style Fender headstock. Like it needs to be a little bit bigger and more flamboyant. Like the more compact Fender headstock, I don't think is connecting with it really.
I can see what you're saying.
Or a Tele headstock. I think a Tele headstock would have been fun for this shape, and it would have connected the cowpoke, cowboy sort of aesthetic.
Yeah, I think that would have. So the story on this is I don't know why they had this pick guard. I'm not sure if it came from something else, or is that the 51 precision pick guard?
It's similar to that.
Apparently, this was I'm reading.
But that top horn of the pick guard is wild. Like they took it in a different direction.
Yeah.
The thing I want to say. This is a very well done ad. Like the person who did this ad, like this is a good ad. Like this isn't like
the pictures and everything.
Crummy pictures, poor description, like doesn't really tell you what's going on. Like it's got a picture of the guitar on a scale showing you the exact weight. It's got really good pictures of the couple dings it has. Like he's got pictures of the frets and close-ups of the frets and stuff. Like this is like a model example of a used listing where anyone could look at this ad and be like, try to hit this.
Yeah. No, so here is the thing. 750. I like I said, this, I feel like that 750 could be the top end. I haven't priced these in a long time. But the other thing with this is wired passive with upgraded Seymour Duncan pickups. They're basically counting that as potentially counting that as like
An upgrade.
This originally had a Fender Precision Jazz combo, just like in here, but with an active preamp.
Interesting.
And so it was, Fender did these guitars here and there that had what they call it kubicki style, which is where they use concentric pots. So you'd have 4 controls on
concentric pots.
Concentric, yeah. Sorry,
I heard you say concentric pots, and I was like,
concentric. They're all in those movies.
I was like, what word did you just say?
Officially, it was listed as the Fender Active Precision Bass. So the comment on here is if you stuck an Ibanez logo on the headstock, it would probably still be in production and regarded as a modern masterpiece. But yeah, it had a stacked volume balance control at the front and bass treble tone control at the rear.
I really like the look of it. I really do.
They're really. I always kept an eye out for one at a good price, and I just never found. I just never found one. I probably could have, chased one. It's one of those things where at the time I was looking for them and I was like, oh, I don't want to pay $350. I need like under $300. And now they just don't exist.
It's like I look at this bass and I know it's called the Cowpoke. It wants to do a country theme.
Well, that was a thing that people just called it. That's not what it was called.
I see. But I do see like a country aesthetic with the pickguard. I also see like a proggy metal vibe. I also see like an indie vibe, like an alt, like college band kind of vibe. It's kind of indie, kind of like it's just a little bit weird that like this bass could be on any stage. Like they need to bring this back as a paranormal or something. Like this is fun.
This would be a good candidate for a bass in the paranormal series.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, so that's how the pots work.
Right. So it gave you lots of extra controls. Yeah, I think if I was shopping for one of these, I'd probably want to start with the stock condition.
And this one I showed you on eBay is listed for $850. So like I said, they only made these for 2 years, and you just don't really find them in the wild anymore. At the time I was looking, I probably could have bought one off of Talkbase, again, like $350, $400.
Right.
But just like, you know, at the time I think I still had that American Jazz, so I was like, oh, do I really want to spend $400 on a non-American Fender guitar?
Does anyone really even want like American guitars? Like, come on. Yeah, I think it looks cool. I don't know about the price. It sounds like it's in the realm of reality right now.
I think it's on the top end because, again, maybe if they still have the original electronics, it could be worth some more.
The ad is so good that they could charge a premium because they're good with their camera and they're good at making an ad, Steve.
Gotcha.
Do we want to do the other sponsor?
Yeah, this episode is also brought to you by Chase Bliss Audio.
Yep. Follow them on social media so you can stay up on everything that they're coming up with and all the comings and goings. They did a raffle for those built guitars that had moods built into them and raised at least like $73,000 and a few $100s on top of that. Probably.
We assume.
It's possible. It is possible they raised over $73,000 selling those beautiful, beautiful guitars. I mean, I didn't put it in a bid to win them. That's for sure. That's a lot of money.
I really want to know what's coming next because they started previewing this like Starby thing. I don't know. Did that finish?
I don't know. I haven't kept up on the Starby drama.
But it kind of makes me think that maybe they're going to launch a new product.
Watch, by the time this episode's up, the Starby mystery has been revealed.
I know.
And it is the biggest news in the world. And we missed it.
We
didn't even cover it on the show.
Go,
sponsor.
Idiots. ChaseBussAudio.com.
So sorry.
For pedals and advertisements more creative than you are. Check them out.
It's incompetence is what it is, Steve, on our part. Thanks, Chase Bliss.
All right, this next ad was sent by Daniel Esporma. This is a Teisco.
Oh, this is fun.
Spectrum.
I played a Teisco, not one of these acrylic ones, but I played one at Carter's and had a great freaking time. I've seen a couple of these acrylic ones pop up. I saw one that was neon green, like radiator fluid green.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I know it's going to weigh like 18 pounds or whatever, but I saw that. I was like, I kind of want that.
So is this originally acrylic? This isn't like somebody took all the parts and slapped it into an acrylic.
No, this was a 1990 special run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This isn't like a project thing. Like there was a Teisco reboot that was doing these. And it has all the stuff that the Spectrum has.
Yeah.
Like it's not, like an Eastwood style reboot where, it doesn't have the original bridge and trim and all the slider switches and stuff and split pickups. This has them all. The one that I played at Carter's had some circuit issues with all those switches and stuff. I think this would be fun to have because if you're having a circuit issue, you can just look through the back of the guitar and try to figure it out. Like, oh, what's going wrong in here? Is one of the wires disconnected?
Oh yeah, you're not wrong actually.
Yeah, you can look right in there and like track all the wiring and
dumb
figure out what happened with your guitar. I've been loving, like legitimately loving that Bad Cat acrylic that I have. Is it in here? Oh yes. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's off camera here.
Camera.
But I've been really enjoying like how bright and for lack of a better term, clear sounding it is.
Oh my god!
No, it has this sparkly immediate response to your picking
Yeah.
dynamics sort of thing. It doesn't dissipate in a warm way the way wood does. Like it's just very bright and sudden with its attack. And I've been appreciating that with that guitar. So now suddenly I've been acrylic curious. And the thing with acrylic guitars is you take a guitar shape that was meant for wood and you turn it into an acrylic guitar and it's going to weigh so much. You kind of need them to be designed to be acrylic guitar bodies. So this one for sure is going to weigh a freaking ton. But man, it's fun to look at and it's fun to think about. But for $3,300, it ain't never going to happen for me.
Is that how much they're asking?
Yeah.
I just cruised by the price. So
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's,
It's in Japan.
No,
so-
I think that's a fair price for these.
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's normal.
I was gonna say, I didn't know if it was because it's like in Japan.
Only
so-
$165 shipping. That's not too bad from Japan.
Yeah.
I've had thoughts after playing that one at Carter's because Schecter ripped this shape.
Yeah. For the
Is it the Omen or
no, I was
forget-
gonna say for the Sinister Gates model,
But that's the signature model. There's a base model that is this shape and has that headstock shape as well.
is it the Tempest?
I can't. No, it's not the Tempest. I've thought about picking up one of those Schecters and then trying to reverse convert it back into like a vintage style surf guitar. It would never be as like quirky as this, but I might be able to get it to hint that direction. Be like, wow, he took a Schecter and he turned it into a 60s style guitar. Like it just needs single coils and a pearloid pickguard, right? Steve's going to look for it and it's going to take all night to find it.
Well, I figure if I find the Sinister Gates model, then maybe it'll say.
Right. See, I want the version that has the Teisco headstock, and that one has the earwig headstock.
Right.
But it's the exact same shape. Like Schecter completely lifted the Teisco Spectrum and turned it into a metal
Yeah.
guitar.
No, it definitely is.
Yeah.
Schecter. Maybe it's called the Custom S.
I don't know.
I
We'll
only see Sinister Gates models.
We'll
man.
figure it out later. It don't matter.
It's very important.
All right, let's do one more ad. I just wanted to look at that, and I wanted other people to look at it.
Before we do this last ad, if you want to support the show, help us do things that are cool and fun and fuel Ryan's fever dream of getting a Teisco Spectrum, you can head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can make all of our dreams come true.
Or as much as $30 billion a month. Yeah. You can pledge that much. I mean, you're going to be giving a lot of money to Patreon. They're going to take their cut. You could give it to us directly. I'm just saying.
What if it turned out that like Elon Musk he picked up guitar and he just started he was like, hey, I want to join Patreon, but I only want to pay you in Dogecoin.
Bring it.
I don't know why that probably wasn't as funny as I thought it was.
You know what? No, it wasn't funny. But if Elon Musk wants to trade like guitar shopping tips for like a space ride, I'll take a space ride. Elon, hit me up. I'll go in orbit. That sounds fun.
All right, this last ad was sent by Screen Drag, Paul Weller, Peavey guitar with guitar case, OBO 250. I think this could be very well worth $250.
It's cool looking.
This is a Peavey Horizon 2, but the description just says black guitar with vibrator.
That's really the only reason he showed us the ad. But I like this guitar. I want to see more of this guitar. Like it honestly kind of reminds me of the horns on my High Spirit back there.
Yeah.
Like I like that shape a lot.
Yeah, there are definitely some worse examples of this. There's one at Guitar Center that's listed for $400. That's just a 2 humbucker pickup with no pick guard. That's gross.
No, I want the pick guard. I want the vibrator.
Oh my gosh. The thing that I will say is this has speed knobs on it. Oh, maybe
We could call them vibrators. It's not a wrong term. Like it works on a couple levels. It is doing vibrato and you are vibrating it.
Yeah.
Why have we not made this connection before?
Dude, 250 is actually a really good price on this. Someone should jump on this. Watch out for that vibrator.
Get that vibrator, guys. It ships for $22. This is on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. Peavey guitar with guitar, but
Is
you're
this,
not going to be able
this
to
USA?
find it.
It's USA.
Yeah.
This is a USA made Peavey.
Yeah, this is like an 80s one.
With a freaking cool body and a built-in vibrator. It's got some sort of like power rail single in the middle position. A cool pick guard. Like imagine this painted like a wild color. Or like this with like pinstripes on it. It's like a matte black.
I think it's gone.
It probably is.
I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing some other Peaveys, but I'm not seeing this one.
Did you find the seller? I mean, his name's right there in the thing.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I always feel a little iffy about posting these ads on the screen here and people
Someday we're
can
gonna
see
get
the name of the
sued.
seller and like, all these people tracked me down on Facebook and I don't know why and I was scared and then I sold the guitar and it's their fault. Is that how it would work? This is extra advertising for an ad, I suppose. So, I mean, it's like I don't need another guitar in my life, but if it was the old days where I was constantly window shopping and this was local, I might have pulled the trigger on this.
This guy's name is like too
generic.
It's pretty
Yeah.
generic.
Good luck, right?
Plus, he, like you said, he probably deleted his Facebook account. We probably ruined his life. Oh wait,
Sorry,
we haven't
dude.
talked about this yet, so I guess we couldn't have ruined his life
Yeah.
yet. But
It's hard to tell from the pictures, but like from a distance, I think it's just the way the pixels are lining up. It looks like this neck has been heavily used and there's like divots in the frets, but that might just be the quality of the photo.
yeah,
Like I see like
that would be
right,
my guess.
right there, and I'm like, oh, is there a divot in the fret? But I really don't think there is.
I searched for guitar with vibrator, and that did not help.
That's you're good enough at Google to know not to do that, Steve.
Well, I'm on Facebook. I just assumed that.
I want to. Oh man, I want to pour out a drink for the homies that couldn't be here. What's his name? Noah, right? He tried to post a picture to the Facebook group. Noah Barnett. He tried to post a picture to the Facebook group to make a joke a few weeks back. And it was a photo of two sock puppets. He was making fun of people that were clearly like sock puppet accounts that were trying to join the group. He posted this picture of two sock puppets and they just happened to be pink socks. It was a boy sock puppet and a girl sock puppet. And the Facebook robots were like, this has nudity in it. And they gave him like a 30-day ban because he posted a picture of sock puppets. And I'll put the picture up here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I feel so bad for him.
Yeah, he did his inner circle already, but because he's not going to be able to post the inner circle Secret Santa, because he's not going to be able to post in the group because this
episode is post Christmas.
And the thing is that
how's your Christmas, everyone?
Okay, I'm for the most part, I appreciate the moderation tools that Facebook has put in place. I appreciate their efforts to be like, oh, you called somebody a shithead. We don't really want that on Facebook, so
we're going to auto filter
that and whatever. But there are things where it's like, no, you clearly got it wrong. And the fact that, like, as a group administrator, I don't have the ability
to undo it,
to even
contest it,
to contest it. And so, like, literally, someone will be like, Cole Duke gets in trouble all the time for threats of violence.
But they're like sarcasm posts.
Yeah, it's like
it'll be like, oh yeah, it's not like I was saying that I'd like kill you or something like that. Like he'll say things like that, and then Facebook will be like, he wants to kill someone. Like all I'm saying is I wish that the Facebook robots would consider Noah's post. Is all I'm saying. All right, you want to tell us about the song and get us out of here?
Yeah, this week's song is sent to us by Brian Gower.
That's awesome. Is this a Plane Without a Pilot song?
It's not a Plane Without a Pilot song.
Ooh, is it a Brian Gower solo?
It says, this is from my band, Just In Case, latest EP. Well,
I didn't realize he had another band.
Kyle moved to Texas, so Plane Without a Pilot is on permanent forever.
I assumed
hiatus.
that they were going to be, long distance relationshiping it.
Their podcast,
Okay,
the
but not
Tone
the band.
Jerks. Go
All right.
listen to the Tone Jerks, guys. Is long distance relationshiping it. This song
And
is called.
despite me being anti-pop punk, I still love these boys.
This song
good
is
boys.
called No Aim. It's got a cool groove to it. Stoked on the way this came out. This was recorded, mixed, and mastered all DIY. Drums in a garage, guitar, bass, and vocals recorded in my bedroom studio. For guitars, Adam used his 60s reissue Gibson SG with a stock P90 into a Fractal Axe 8. Made presets based off of a JCM 800 and a dual rectum fryer. Used ML Soundlabs IRs. He's all about ML Soundlabs. He's always talking about ML Soundlab IRs. For bass, I used an MIM Fender P bass with Seymour Duncan quarter pounder pickups into the AX8 using a preset I made of an orange 8200B into an ML Soundlab bass cab IR. I also tracked a clean DI that was used to help with mixing. My drummer Brian Rash mixed it all. So credit to him for making it sound tight. So we're gonna play this, and then you guys are gonna go listen to the Tone Jerks, right? Everybody go check out Just In Case, and go check out Just In Case. We should go to a show.
Let's go to the show. Is he going to play?
It's loading. Okay.
Present is madness. Every day I'm forced to choose a side on things I'd rather not speak on. I can't keep my mouth shut. It has a monstrous mind of its own. You can't win in life if you live what others say. You won't win at all if you sabotage yourself. The future is fragile. I hear only chatter to fill the void of years past. Very few have both feet on the ground. It's a truth they cannot see. And I need you to stay out of the way. I can't hear what you're preaching. It's a realization I'm not ready to face. You can't win in life if you live what others say. You won't win at all if you sabotage yourself. You can't win in life if you live what others say. You won't win at all if you sabotage yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I like that.
See, this is the kind of guitar solo I can play with.
It's got a video game feel. Like Sonic the Hedgehog is drowning.
That's the end.
There it is. Good track, guys. I feel like I could hear, like, if you had like just played it and not told me, I would have been like, I know who's playing guitar. Like, I recognize that guitar style.
But he's not playing guitar.
What is he playing?
He's playing bass.
Oh, damn it. I've embarrassed myself.
Good job, Ryan.
Well, like, it sounds very familiar. I guess maybe that's just the style. That
Are you
they play
saying
in.
all pop punk sounds the same?
I've said it before.
Damn. Thanks for sending the song, Brian. Definitely,
Now I feel
enjoyed it.
embarrassed. Now I feel
enjoyed
embarrassed
it.
and I feel bad.
He's going to come over here and steal your stuff.
I'll give him stuff. If he wants to come over, I'll give him
okay.
stuff. All right. Bye, guys. This has been our second episode. We're loopy.
Stay grounded.